going on, guys? Welcome back to Make It or Break It Monday, the show that helps you get your head right so you can start your week right. I'm in the car right now, but I had to pull over to record this video because I was driving and I just ran into a situation and I just had to talk about it. So I was driving home from running an errand, and I'm about to pull up to the stoplight, and I noticed that there's a couple cars in the lanes next to me, and they're stopped short of the white line of where you would normally stop. So I'm driving up slow, and I realize that they just repaved some of that road, and there's where the asphalt is, there's obviously a black line where the asphalt ends, and then it's concrete or like gray in color. But the white line is actually up probably about 20 feet past the black asphalt, forward where the gray concrete is. And as I'm pulling up, I'm noticing after the one car stopped, the next car stops, and the next car stops, all on the asphalt, all in a line where the first car stopped. So I pull up and I drive past where the asphalt is, and I pull up to where the white line is. And as I do that, I stop because that's the red light, and I turn around and I look, and I actually took a picture on my phone, and literally every other car in the other lanes stop exactly where the asphalt ends. And I go and I look, and I'm just like, all these cars are starting behind where the starting line actually is. How crazy is that? And all of them are following suit because one car actually stopped where the asphalt ended. So it just got me thinking, like, why are all these other cars, why are all these other people in life starting off at a disadvantage? Why are they actually not even on the starting line? I am on the starting line. I am ready to go as soon as the light turns green. All these other cars are at least 20 to 30 feet behind me and what they think the line is. So I got 3 tips of how to avoid stopping on the asphalt line instead of the starting line. So number 1 is we have to stop comparing ourselves to others. And that is a pure example of where everyone is just doing what they have learned. What other people around them are doing, they're just going off of that instead of leading towards their own path. A lot of the time, the friends that are around us, the family that's around us, co-workers, but man, people, you do what's comfortable and where you think that you're going to fit in. And most people actually act very familiar to obviously how they were raised, and it's because it was how they were raised, right? You grew up 18 plus years being involved in a family, and you're learning every single one of those habits, whether they're good or they're bad. But we act to that dynamic of the people we grow up around. And when you grow up, a lot of the time, we, even as we're growing up, our parents are telling us, well, you can do whatever you want, you can be whatever you want. But how funny does that change when you graduate high school and maybe you decide that you want to do something else, like start a business instead of going to college, or you want to go, I don't know, start a band, anything like that, right? It's so funny how that you can do anything in life mentality actually changes when we feel like these other people, like our parents, put these different pressures on us. So you can do anything you want as long as it's to what your parents expect of you. And not saying that's always a bad thing. Obviously they love and they care about you, so they're doing that in a very loving way, but a very protective way. But we gotta live by our own standards, and we gotta live by not the influence of others around us. I mean, my parents are fairly reserved. My brother is fairly reserved and conservative. And I don't know if just because of all the sports and things I was involved with, but I really had to break outside of that to really become more outgoing, and is really pushing myself into experiences that I just, in the moment, were scary, right? It was just things that I had to make myself uncomfortable. So number 1 is obviously stop comparing yourself to others, friends, family, coworkers, other people around you, and set that new standard for yourself. So number 2 is actually setting what the standard should be. So you have to set a new standard, and it's not just the standard of what people around you expect, but it's your standard. So what are you gonna do to make sure that you always live by your standards? Set yourself apart from others regardless of the influence they've had on you. Because if it is the right trajectory, the right path, the right way forward for yourself, you don't give up on your morals and you don't give up on whatever that mission and that dream is for yourself. So number one, stop comparing yourself to others. Number two, set a new standard, your standard. And number three, don't feel bad about it. Because I think that is really where this stops. When we feel bad about whatever it is that other people are influencing us on, if you say you want to go start a new business or you want to go build a company, I bet you if you went and talked to your spouse or any of your friends right now and you're out at dinner and you said you wanted to start a business, they'd probably think you're crazy. They'd either say, are you sure this is the best time right now? The economy isn't doing so well. Or if the economy is great, they're like, are you sure you want to start that business right now? The economy is great. It's probably going to go down pretty soon. Whatever that is, you can't feel bad about it. You have to set the standard. You have to decide what your life is going to look like. More importantly, stop apologizing for what you want. Stop apologizing for the things that you want to accomplish in life. It's your life to live. So I ask you, how deep are your roots in those three things? Stop when comparing yourself to others, setting a new standard, your standard, and not feeling bad about it. Me, I always feel guilty when different things happen, and even if I'm just kind of at fault, I just don't like that feeling. But you know what? When it comes to running my family, my life, and what I want to accomplish, that's something you absolutely cannot feel bad about. So who cares if you should or you ought to, or you'll never be happy unless? Doesn't matter. You need to make the decision for what that means for you, and you need to go out, do it, and have a great week this week. Hopefully this helps. Talk to you guys soon.